Hi team, Coach Alexia here. Today I'm going to talk a little bit of a whistle stop about tapering. I think I've done a couple of videos before on some specific examples around tapering, like tapering for a marathon, etc., and mental tapers, but I thought I'd do a video just high level, kind of combining a few key aspects of tapering for racers. So what is a taper? A taper is effectively dropping back the training in the days or weeks before a race in order to make sure that your body is completely adapted to all of the training that you've done, so it's stronger and fitter as a result of that training, but also fully recovered and you've shaken all the fatigue out of your system so that you're feeling full of beans and your body is ready and raring to go. No lingering fatigue or tiredness on the morning of your target race. So how do you do that? You drop back first endurance, so the distance of your runs, and maybe even dropping a run per week. And then you drop back speed, and then you drop back a little bit of your strength training towards the end. And how you do that and when you do that depends on primarily on the length of the race that you're doing and you as an individual as well. So as a marathon, for example, the average taper, but it doesn't have to be what you use, is 3 weeks. So your longest long run might be 3 weeks before the race. That first week of 3 in the taper, you drop back your endurance quite a lot. The reason for endurance dropping endurance back first is that endurance takes longer to build, but it also takes longer to fade. So we've done that endurance base build for a marathon by 3 weeks out-ish. Might be 4 or 2 depending on you. And then in the second week of a 3-week taper, we might start dropping back the speed work a little bit. In the final week of the taper, you're not doing much distance, you're not doing much speed, maybe a tiny sprinkling towards the beginning of the week just to keep the legs fresh. And then you drop back the intensity, the weight, the reps of your strength work. So if you're doing a half marathon or a 10k, the taper will be shorter. So that might be a week to 10 days for a 10k, 2 weeks for a half marathon. If you're doing a longer race like an ultra, you may take the taper slightly longer. But the general rule of thumb applies. You drop back the endurance first, and that's total distance, long run distance, runs per week. Then you drop the speed work back, and then you drop the strength work back. And as I say, the aim is that you then wake up on race day morning, your body's had time to completely adapt to all of the training and it's got no tiredness and fatigue lingering in the legs that's going to impact the race. Other things to do to make the most out of the taper and ensure that you tick those 2 goals of good adaptation and good recovery is eating good nutrient-rich food. So that food is what gives us the building blocks that our body uses to adapt and recover from training. So nutrient-rich food means food with plenty of vitamins and minerals. So fruits, vegetables, legumes, pulses, nuts, seeds, and also protein. So peas, beans, tofu, fish, meat, eggs, etc. Those will be used by your body as the building blocks to adapt and recover. And our body uses that good food when we're either sleeping or we're inactive and doing something restful. It also gets into more of that rest, recovery and repair state. Final thing to think about from a taper is that there's been an interesting study about what's called, they've termed a mental taper. So this is when we try, and I'm perfectly aware that this is very much easier said than done when you have, family responsibilities and work, etc. in life. But when you try and drop back the amount of stress and also the amount of sort of challenging mental tasks you need to do. So the theory being, and this has been borne out in the science, that if your brain is well rested, we can show more mental strength during that race. So that might mean that we can pace ourselves a little bit faster. It might mean that in that final 10k of a marathon, where it is a little bit mind over matter, that mental strength will allow us to push on that little bit more in order to get the full results that we could do out of our bodies. So lots of things to think about there, but I hope that's a useful little whistle-stop tour of tapering, what to do, how to do it, and why we do it.